welcome finalists to episode 11 of The Vault. I am Waltz, your host, joined as always by Rio. How's it going, Rio?
It's going wonderful, and today's episode is sponsored by Via. Make sure your Series 2000 implant is up to date. All hail the fridge.
Oh, I forgot. I was not locked in.
You got to get that implant a little bit updated. But as you all can see here, we are joined by a special guest once again. We have Ekazo with us today. Ekazo, you want to give us a quick introduction on who you are and within the finals?
Yeah, I'm Ekazo. Been playing the game since closed beta 2. I started out making YouTube videos for the finals, and then I got some traction there. And nowadays, I usually just stream, and then I post some videos here and there. And yeah, I'm part of the Embark creator program, and that's it.
Nice. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, that's a great quick overview of you, and we'll dig into the actual interview questions here in just a second. But quickly, we want to give y'all an overview of what has happened in the competitive scene since we last talked. And that will be basically two events that happened. We had the Pro Leagues Day 3 and 4, so that was a Wednesday and Saturday event. We had both the EU side and the NA side going at it for their last matches before we took a break, which right now as we're recording, we're on our kind of week-long, much-deserved break for the Pro League. So there will be more games coming up soon. But that was the first past event. But there was another one that, Waltz, you actually did, and I'll let you speak on it because it's a little closer to heart. Oh, I think we lost you somehow, Waltz.
Sorry about that. Technical issues. Was doing some sound stuff for the stream. Yeah, so the last episode we had was actually the club clash that we had. So I pitted Ekazo, actually his club, up against the clan of Young. We ran through a bunch of different games. We had a lot of kind of silly modifiers. We played some really weird stuff. Like we had everybody in the lobby had to run turret. And we ran, because we were in cashout, so we had like a 6v6 matchup. And it was a really fun time. It was a little imbalanced, some things that we got to work on for the future. But it was overall went really well. We'll have the VOD below on that one. But yeah, so you of course were half of that, Ekazo. Any thoughts on that? Anything you took away from that one?
I think the 66 was really fun. I feel like there's a lot of strategy that could have been done with that. Interested to see if could actually make that work in the future. But I think the event, it was pretty unbalanced. I felt like maybe we should have added some more modifiers against my team or something to make it more balanced. But yeah, I mean, I tried to, like, I didn't realize I could like invite people that weren't in the club, so that might have been able to balance it out more. Because I realized young people aren't even in his club, so I was like,
that's very
it's not really a club clash then. But
I wanted to hopefully in the future, I didn't want to limit it too much so we could get enough people, but that's sort of the iteration. I do want to eventually get to that point. So no, you're right. Lots of kind of updates to be done on that one and make sure that we can because you want it to be balanced as possible. But hopefully you guys had a good time still, and I think the next one will hopefully be a lot better.
Yeah, we had a good time.
Sweet. Well, and there are two more upcoming events. Our buddy Jerry will be doing an event that is TF2 themed. It is called Team Finals 2, and he is pitting all of these content creators together, where he has kind of devised these loadouts that are inspired by the inspired by the TF2 loadouts, their counterparts. And he's got a great event going on. If it hasn't happened by then, actually it's happening this weekend, so we will probably post a link to the VOD of the event that it has happened. But with that said, there are also more Pro League games coming up after this break. So by the time you're watching it, it should be Play Day 5 and 6 should be happening here soon. So lots coming up in the Pro League, but that's enough of us yapping about what's happened. Let's dig into the interview. Ekazo, one of the things that I noticed about you as I was kind of looking through your stuff is that you mentioned that you were on the due process scene. That was actually a game that I played. Didn't even really know there was a huge competitive scene. It was a pretty small game when I played, but can you kind of tell me about that, what that game was like? And, I assume that was what you did before the finals. So, dig in as much as you want to the due process side.
Yeah. I mean, I started playing due process, I think, like when COVID hit, yeah, I got sent home from school. It was like, okay, what do I do now? It was like a Steam winter sale. It was like due process on the front page of Steam. I just, okay, this game's like $10, let's play it. And then I just fell in love with it. And basically what the game is about is like, it's sort of like Rainbow Six Siege if you ever played it, but it's an asymmetrical game. You play defenders and you have attackers. And basically each map is sort of like procedurally generated, and the attackers have to get to the site. There's like one bomb, you gotta defuse it. But yeah, it's really cool. I guess the main thing I liked about it was like, because like every map was so different, you didn't have to like learn the map that much. And that's what I like about the finals too, is like each round plays so differently. Like you could destroy this wall in one game and then another wall is going to break, or the whole building collapses, and you never have the same experience. But yeah, due process.
Is that so? Moving in kind of towards the final, so it sounds like that's something that really attracted you once you found it. What was your first interaction with the finals? How did you find out about it?
Yeah, I actually heard about the finals when I was playing due process, and at the time I was like, yeah, this game looks like it might die quick or something like that. But I signed up anyways. It was like, all right, we'll try this game out anyways, you know. And I got into closed beta 2, and I just fell in love with the game. It was like, this game's awesome. It was like the most different game I've ever played ever. And with due process dying out, the developer's not really updating the game, it felt like the right move to just switch to the finals.
Yeah, that's awesome. And it definitely did die out, you know, due process. I'm kind of surprised that they're still updating it a little bit. It looked like it was still around when I checked it out the other day. But yeah, you know what? We're here on the finals. So that was your first interaction, closed betas 2, you said. You know, it sucks because I applied to all of the betas and I didn't get in until the open beta. So I'm always kind of just like, what did y'all do differently? But who knows? I want to talk about kind of Goo, since you kind of are this touted Goo expert. Why do you think Goo is the best thing in the game? I know it's kind of a loaded question, but I feel like you might agree.
I guess Goo's sort of, embodies sort of like the strategist sort of play style, and I think that just sort of fits me the most. I think all of this game is about destroying things, but nobody really talks about creating things. And I think Goo is really the, I guess, embodiment of creativity in this game. You can do a lot of stuff with it, and that's why I think it's the best.
That's such a good point. I've never heard anybody describe it that way. The aspect of creation in the game, and I think that's really neat. And I remember seeing it's been in like one of the first tournaments I hosted, the one that I ran with Gravity Drop back in the day, when you were flying the Gooship, you were cocooning the cash out underneath, things we really hadn't seen before. Like, how much is that? Were those things you discovered pretty early on? How often do you find new tech? Is it constantly something you're figuring out? Is there always new stuff showing up, or is this something that you kind of like, there was this time of exploration with it and it's sort of evened off now?
I think it's an ongoing process. I'm pretty sure Gooship wasn't even possible when Gravity Cube came out, because every season they changed Goo a little bit. Yeah. So you always have different effects and properties. But yeah, it's an ongoing process. Some people come to me with like tech. I remember I posted a video about like a Goo mecha. I discovered it in like the season 2 preview. I like put myself inside like this barricade of Goo around it, and I could like move the barricade. It was like a turtle shell where like I gravity cubed myself up, and it's interesting. You should check out the video, but it's cool. Oh, I forgot what I was gonna say, but yeah, it's an ongoing process. And then from that video, people were like, oh, I discovered this. Like, you could put the cash out in like a Goo with the barricade and lift it up all the way up into the sky. I don't know if you guys have seen that. But yeah, I like how people get inspired by the Goo whenever I make videos about it. And I sort of build off them and they build off me. It was just sort of tech building.
Inspired by the Goo. I quite like that phrase. I think that's a really good way of summing it up. Do you have kind of like a favorite moment with the Goo? Because you have had, you know, we're talking the mecha, the Gooship. Is there a favorite Goo moment?
I mean, I think Gooship definitely is up there. I think that's like, it's just perfect. The perfect content is like, people see that as like, wow, did I know you could do that in the finals? Yeah. Or like, that's so crazy. Or like, what is happening or whatever. Yeah, it's so good. Probably the Gooship, yeah.
Is that part of what inspired you to start making content for the finals? Because looking at your channel, it really is just final stuff. Like I think the first video was maybe Lethal Company, but after that, it's just final stuff. So is this the first game you really wanted to create content for? Did this sort of just spark something for you?
I mean, I did make some content for Due Process, but it's on like my other channel. But yeah, the finals is really the first game that I really wanted to try hard in sort of making content, and that Lethal Company video was just like, I guess, sort of like a test. Or it was before the finals came out, I was like, all right, if I'm going to make this content, then let's start with something else that's popular at the time, and Lethal Company was popular. But yeah, the finals is the game I wanted to make content for.
Well, let's kind of keep going on the Goo, because I think we have a couple more questions about it. What are your thoughts on Embark's approach to kind of the sandbox environment? You know, kind of nerfing your Gooship and kind of maintaining kind of control over it. Waltz also has a note in here, nade grappling, those kind of things.
I think, I don't know, I generally have like a negative sort of view on that. It's like, the nade grappling thing is like, you don't need to nerf or get rid of it. I don't understand why.
Yeah.
I think it kind of goes against their principles of like dynamism and like sort of interacting with your environment. And yeah, but like Gooship getting removed, I know Embark Rob has said in my Twitch chat, like they plan on bringing Gooship back for a future
really?
season. Yeah, they just have to fix the Goo code or whatever.
Yeah.
So
Fix the Goo code.
Yeah. But I do like that there's crazy things like that happen in Arena. But obviously some things like nukes is like sort of like, yeah, that's creative, but like it also, you have to pay attention to the balance.
Yeah. Do you feel like there are aspects where they're taking creativity out and not putting enough of it back in sometimes? Like obviously he says they want to put Gooship, like that's one aspect of it. But do you feel like things like Goo are so unique to the finals, and one of the things I like about it, like people running Goo Grenade and the things you can do with that and blocking off, do you feel like you would love to see more? Like DMAT I think was a really neat addition in that it gave you the ability to play around things. Would you love to see more stuff like DMAT and things of that nature that give you that ability to create, like to add more of that sort of nature back to the game? Do you feel like we've lost some of that?
Yeah, I do like that aspect. I think I remember a viewer telling me like they've removed a lot more things than been added. So like recon senses got removed, dead go boom got removed. I think a big issue is like they take forever to sort of develop since they're sort of like a small team. And yeah, I really prefer, like when this season came out, I was like 3 new weapons, where are the gadgets, where are the specializations, things that really change how the game is played. And I feel like the weapons they're just not going to cut it. But hopefully next season.
Yeah, no, I agree. I hope that this season was more of just kind of a polished season. We do think that they're kind of going a little more towards that as the majors coming up. But I think that that's actually a great segue into kind of our next line of questions. Have you seen that you were involved in the competitive scene for a bit in season 2 and 3? Looks like you were in a lot of events, even followed made a video on the competitive scene. Have you followed along since then?
I kind of, I was sort of involved in the competitive scene like a little earlier, but I guess the reason why I'm sort of like out of it now is like, I don't know, I feel like the comp scene is sort of dominated by this certain meta with like mesh shield, dome shield, and I feel like the people that play aren't really trying to, I don't know, be the best they can. I don't know, it just feels like it's too early, especially with the major coming later this year. I feel like people are just doing stuff to do it. Like when I was playing Due Process and I was on like a team, like we would scrim every day, and like after every scrim, it's like, what do we need to work on? Like what new things we can try out? And I feel like the comp scene in the finals is so stagnant. Like there's no new metas being developed. It's just jump pad RPG constantly. I don't think it's that fun, especially since most of the comp scenes revolved around the 3v3 format, which is not something I'm a big fan of. I feel like this game is not really built for 3v3 in general. Like, I feel like fighting for the vault in a 3v3, like, what's the point? Because, like, once you win the vault fight, then you just respawn and then you just fight on the site. I feel like it's not that, I don't know, not that engaging for me.
Yeah. And that makes sense to me. And I that's actually a really good point, though, because I have wondered if, as we get closer to the major, there are going to be teams that start to try to develop strategies we haven't seen, and that does seem to be sort of maybe one thing we haven't seen a lot of. We've seen some developing meta in like the Pro League, especially with the cash-out stages, which have been really neat to see. Have you watched any of the sort of the cash-out stages? Been sort of seeing the approach that teams have made there? Because we have seen some, like we've seen Busy recently come up with a like he drops the RPG completely. He just runs Lockbolt now with his team and runs around there. Like, has that been something you've watched much of?
I've been dropping the Lockbolt since last season. All right, like when it changes to 100 damage, the RPG does nothing now, and I'm surprised still comp players still use it like crazy. But yeah, I have been watching like people like Busy and Normalize. But recently I watched like day 1 or day 2 of the Pro Hubs thing, and yeah, Busy's been going crazy with the minigun. But I think the real reason why the minigun's so good in comp right now is because everyone uses Mesh Shield and Dome Shield, and that's basically what the minigun counters constantly. And I hear a lot of comp players like, nerf the minigun, nerf the minigun. It's like, stop using Mesh Shield and Dome Shield. That's like the biggest counter to it.
That's really interesting, and you know, Waltz put on had some good points as well, because we have actually seen some evolving meta. You know, Waltz and I have been in the competitive scene since the beginning, and there was a point that I 100% agreed with you that it was stale, it was boring, everybody was kind of doing the exact same thing. And as Walt mentioned, as we've kind of moved into the kind of cash out segment right now, it's wild. Like, things are unhinged, and we are seeing people run Sledge, we're seeing people run no healing beam, 2D mats, we're watching actual lights pop off, something that we didn't see in the competitive scene before. So I encourage you to kind of go back and or not go back and just continue to watch it, because like the next matches are going to be wild, and likely casted by, you know, Waltz and I. You know, we're a little biased, but it's still just I'm happy with how it's progressing, and just from hearing your comments, I think that it is kind of worth checking out again. But you know, so that's the current scene. What are your thoughts on the major? What kind of are you positive about it? Or are you kind of indifferent? What's your just general feeling?
I don't know. I think I have a good opinion in like the next season, maybe, because I feel like they're sort of ramping up, they're balancing things, like sort of this season, last season, and I feel like, I mean, yeah, the game might be in a good state for the majors, but I mean, from what I heard, I think the majors might be 3v3, which is something I'm not really a big fan of, but we'll have to see. I don't really have an opinion right now.
Would that be the biggest thing that you're looking for like not even to play, but just sort of to watch as a spectator? Like, what sort of things would you want to see in the major for it to be interesting to you?
I think the biggest thing about the major that would be the interest is, like, I think sort of the comp scene right now is just dominated by like a few players, like a few well-known names. And I think the biggest thing about the major is that it's going to be an open qualifier. So like anyone can play, like hidden talent, like all types of players, people that play off meta. And I think that's probably the best part. That's going to be part of the major. I really hope that it's going to be in the game club system or something like that, where like you don't have to sign up externally, because I feel like that would just push away so many players. But yeah,
that makes sense to me. And so, kind of as a follow-up to that, being a Goo Gun sort of aficionado and a lover of the Goo Gun, do you think it could be competitively viable now, and people just don't trust themselves to use it or haven't practiced with it enough? Or do you think it needs a buff? And if so, how would you buff Goo Gun to make it viable nowadays?
Okay, well, I think it is competitively viable. I mean, I feel like I've shown that I'm about to hit top 10 with Goo Gun. I might hit top 1 with Goo Gun this season.
That's true.
I beat Lamp yesterday twice on Goo Gun. I've been beating Lamp constantly. Yeah, it's just like, if I can beat them with Goo Gun, I think that just shows it's competitively valuable. Just like with minigun, it's like people didn't think about miniguns as competitively valuable until Busy started pulling it out.
Right.
But yeah, I do need to try it in 3v3 though, but I just need to find a team, and I feel like that's one of the hardest parts, finding a team that like understands what you're trying to do, especially when you're going off meta, sort of like Goo Gun. It's like, how are you going to find a teammate that like doesn't want to flame you for using something that's not meta?
Someone needs to share the vision.
And what was the second part of your question? It was
how would you buff the Goo Gun? So I mean, obviously, like you said, you're fantastic at the game. You hit number 1. You're on a lot of the trophies in the practice range.
Yeah.
You can check it out. You'll see Ekazo's name on there a bunch, especially in like the terminal tech season. I know. But so, if you needed to give Goo Gun a buff, how would you do so? How would you change it just to tweak it or make it better?
I think a lot of people ask me this question, and I feel like there's a lot of ways you can buff it. Like, I think the biggest thing that I would want would probably be the accuracy buff. There's a slight bloom to it when you shoot, which is kind of annoying. But I know a lot of people have been telling me like the right click should shoot like a goo wall or something like that.
Ooh.
Cost more ammo or something. Or like the right click should suck up goo or something. But I feel like those things just sort of make it harder for Goo Gun. Like, it just makes it even harder for people to get into Goo Gun. I feel like there's a lot more things you have to understand, which I don't know if we want or not.
Yeah, no, that's interesting take from the Goo-Master himself. Yeah, I don't know if I would add anything else to it. And I mean, you know, it even has a good fire rate, gives you a lot of ammo, you know, in the container. So yeah, I mean, if you're happy with it and are obviously, you know, destroying with it, yeah, I don't know if it needs much of a change. Is that kind of what you're saying, or are you saying, or would there be anything that you change?
I mean, I already know they're going to change. Like, well, okay, the thing about Goo Gun is like it's directly tied to Goo physics. So like, it's like when they nerf Goo, they're nerfing Goo Gun, or when they buff Goo, they're buffing Goo Gun. So it's like the Goo Gun is just like I guess like I don't know, what is it called? A channel for Goo, and I know they're going to change something about Goo in the future seasons, which I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be good or bad. I'm a little scared. But right now, I think Goo Gun is pretty good. Like, people are saying buff Goo Gun. I don't think it really needs a buff. It's already pretty strong as it is. It's basically like stun gun, movement tool, everything, barricade.
Yeah.
Since we're that's a fair point. I do feel like the balance is in a pretty solid state right now, just kind of overall. I don't think there's obviously things we would want to change, and so kind of moving away from the comp scene as we kind of get into our last few questions here, but looking into just sort of the everyday, the casual scene, and obviously, I mean, like, there's ranked, and you're playing ranked, but ranked is in many ways it is a little different than these like the pro league scenes and things of that nature. So where do you think the game sits right now? Because we've been through so many iterations. We talked about, you know, how they remove things, and sometimes it takes them time to work on these balance, but they've now had 5 seasons, 6 seasons worth to really sit down and kind of make things work. And so my question for you is, where do you think the game is right now? Are there any outstanding things that you think are just like way too strong, that are like kind of would need to be changed? Or how do you think the game is just kind of in a casual state is right now?
I think biggest thing about the game, like it's this biggest issue, is probably like the invis thermal vision gameplay loop. Like, I don't know, like I feel like it goes against their principles, as well as like dynamism, and like, yeah, sort of thermal vision lets you see through whatever things, but that's only for you. It's not really interactive for the people you're playing against. It's like, oh wow, I can't even tell if he's even thermal vision or not. And like, same thing of invis, it's sort of like it only makes you invisible, and I don't know, I feel like it's always very frustrating to play against things like that, where like it's very vague on how to counter that. And I hope they really change those, or maybe remove thermal vision at least. But yeah, that's the biggest problem I see right now. But other than like Cerberus being OP, that hopefully they nerf that soon. But
yeah, no, I think the Cerberus is definitely due for a little bit of a nerf here soon. I mean, everybody's running it, and yeah, just kind of a little OP. But yeah, I think that kind of wraps up all of our questions. We really kind of dug into your Goo mentality, some of your highlights, and kind of as we get to our last couple of questions, do you have anybody in the community that you want to shout out? Somebody that people should be aware of?
Appreciate the people that supported me on like my the finals video. I feel like a lot of them stuck around, and I really appreciate them. But people from Due Process that came over to the finals with me, I think without them, I feel like I probably wouldn't be playing this game. Like Juker, Sachi, and all those people. But yeah, appreciate my fans as well. Yeah, that's it.
That's awesome. And so yeah, so obviously, if people want to follow along, anybody that's not familiar with you, where can they find you? Obviously, you got a Twitch, YouTube, any socials that they can check out to keep up to date with what you're doing.
Yeah, usually I stream on Twitch, usually every day. I think I might stream after this as well. At or is it Ekazoko? Ekazo was taken, unfortunately. But
That's crazy.
Ekazoko. And on YouTube it's sort of the same as well. But yeah,
Perfect.
that's my links.
And we will drop all the links to those below in the description. So make sure to check out Ekazo. Lots of really exciting stuff. And like you said, there's a lot of creativity going on in those streams. So I think we're going to get a couple games in here, but that's it for this part of the interview. So make sure to stick around. But for everyone else, we will be back next time on The Vault.
Have a good one.
I did not know about the due process thing, but it sounds like that kind of sparked your excitement for this type of like game. Is that sort of, did the finals draw you in because it kind of felt like due process in a lot of ways?
I think due process showed me like what a good game or like a new generation game would look like. Like Valorant and like all those games, the CS:GO is like stuff you gotta memorize the map, you gotta learn lineups to be good at the game. Is like that's boring. I feel like it's like it's just boring. But I think due process showed me like I think the skills that you should be prioritizing or promoting in a game is should be things that you adapt to, things that like general ideas, not like specific ideas. I think the finals does a really good job of that. It's like if this part of the building's broken, you got to do this or something like that. You're promoting the adaptability aspect rather than the memory aspect.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's something I really appreciated about the game because, like, I never really I played some Counter-Strike, but I never got into it for a lot of the same reasons. Like, I just didn't feel like memorizing every angle and smoke nade positioning.
What are your thoughts on the current ranked mode right now? Like, do you think that it's in a good place? I mean, we had the plug meta for so long, and now it seems to kind of go away. Plugs don't matter as much. What are your thoughts on kind of just ranked?
I think the main issue plaguing rank right now is just the spawns, and I feel like they've been messing up the spawns every season. I feel like they've never gotten it right. But I mean, other than that, I know a lot of people complain about the rank system. Like they always complain about like going against higher ranked players, and I feel like that's just part of having a game where like you have to get 24 people in one match, or something like that. But I feel like what Embark does to like compensate for that, like the seating and stuff like that, I think it's perfect or like almost perfect.
Yeah.
Like if you're playing against higher ranked people, you're going to be losing a lot less, or you only need to pass the first round to gain RS, and I think that's how it should be.
I agree. I was impressed when they came out with the system. It did feel like it was the sort of system they needed. Do you feel like, would you ever want to go back to, if you could, like, one of the things I've thought about is like, would you ever want to go back to the larger tournament size, have more like, instead of having just 2 knockout rounds, 3 knockout rounds, or even potentially only 1 knockout round? So instead of being seeded with 8 different teams, you're seeded with just 4. Like, do either of those feel like potential ways where you might want to, you know, like adjust that and maybe bring it so you have to like seed different teams that are closer together, something of that nature?
I'm gonna have to say I don't think they should go any lower, or like lower rounds. I don't think they should go any lower than what it is now. But going back to 3 qualifying rounds, I feel like might be too much. But I don't know. It's when it was 3 rounds, it felt long, but like I didn't mind. I didn't mind it though.
I think I'm kind of I you're right. It definitely felt like more rewarding at the end, but I don't know. I'm an old man now, and like my gaming time is very limited, and making it through like 1 world tour, 1 ranked is usually a big time commitment for me. So I kind of like the time that it has now, because it's like 40 minutes if I make it all the way through a world tour, and that's kind of perfect. But that's again just like old man energy. So I don't know.
Yeah.
What sort of
I
weapon?
do think if they went,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say if they went any longer, I feel like people would be drawn away because like a lot of games now feel very, I guess, like TikTok-y or very short.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think keeping it where it is right now is perfect, especially for a game like the finals.
I agree. Again, that's actually something I enjoyed about the game, because coming from a game like Dota, where I would sit there and any game has the potential to, every game has the potential to become a hour-long affair, and that's that's not something I really wanted to have to handle here. So I enjoy the ability to just kind of know what I'm locked in on, So that I've enjoyed. I like that part of it. And that makes sense to me. I feel like if you got any longer, it could be problematic, potentially.
Yeah, I used to play Dota as well, and yeah, those games could go super long.
When were you, how long did you play Dota for? Because I've played that for, I got up to about a little over 5,000 hours in that game, so I never really stopped, and I didn't play too much of it, so was that a game you played for a while?
Yeah, that was like my, I guess, first main game. Or like I played that in middle school or in high school, and we would have like LAN parties with my friends playing Dota.
Nice.
And I think I have like, I don't know how much, like 3,000 hours at least.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you feel like this is a game actually that, and I'm curious how you feel, because the reason I gravitated towards the finals as opposed to like being the only game that I found that really could take me away from Dota for an extended time. It felt like this game allowed me the strategy that I enjoyed in a game like Dota, that these MOBA games allowed, where every moment there was something to be thinking about, and it wasn't just this rote memorization of where you go. It felt like you actually had to be aware of how the game plays. Is that something that you think feels similar? Would you maybe be in the same boat? Do you feel like there's scratches kind of maybe the same itch?
I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that. I feel like Dota's. I mean, I don't know. When I look back at Dota, I was like, I don't think that game was that great.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, that's a fair point.
I think mainly because it's like, I don't know, the character system, like I guess sort of like the hero system, this hero type gameplay is like, there's always going to be so much imbalances.
Yep.
But I feel like the finals does it a little bit better with the gadgets and stuff, where like you're not tied into like specific abilities. And that's another reason why I hate the marathon. That marathon game that got released recently or announced recently. It's like a hero shooter.
Yeah.
Is the finals even considered a hero shooter? Because I've seen people, there's some people try and call it that, but I kind of disagree. But it does kind of fit the mold. Yeah, it's one of those weird things. It's like kind of, yeah.
I can see an argument for calling it a hero shooter. I think the characters lack innate abilities in sort of what you normally expect from a hero shooter. And I think that's, again, like, to Ekazo's point, that's part of the appeal of the game, is it gives you the ability to decide, kind of pick your own adventure, right? Like, it's a choose your own adventure game, and you can decide how you want to approach every fight because of the specializations, the gadgets. Whereas hero shooters, sometimes you can customize things, but for the most part, it's locked down, right? He says it's an archetype shooter, which I think is probably a fair characterization. It's an interesting phrase, but that's fair. It kind of.
What does that even mean? I don't know what that definition is.
I don't think
archetype.
It's like it's more the idea of like you kind of have these. You don't have a set here. You're just given kind of like a general box.
Nice.
Like you're given a box, but the box is pretty big. Instead of having a very narrowly defined idea of here's what your hero does. It's more of here's our light, and the light generally does these things. You get to choose which part of the box you're in, but you're still in the box of light. A light is going to play different than a heavy, but your light can play differently than other heavies. So I can see that. That's interesting.
Today on Learning with Waltz and Rio.
So when you're playing with that's hilarious. When you're playing with a Goo, what is your preferred weapon? Do you always play deagles? Are those just sort of the latest thing that you're looking for? What do you approach with the game right now?
Yeah, I've been I think right now, yeah, I've been only using Deeks, but I think it's only because like they have such a high skill ceiling compared to the other heavy weapons. Like if you become a master of the Deagles, you're infinitely better than like a master of the Lewis gun because of just how much damage you can do so quickly.
Yeah.
It's like a pike for heavy.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, that's really yeah. I used to play Lewis gun, and I think with the Goo Gun specifically, ranged weapons work the best, especially since you can just make cover very quickly. Whereas like if you're playing like sledge Goo Gun, you're going to have to get really close, and you won't be able to get as much use out of the Goo Gun, in my opinion.
Gotcha.
Well, what are your thoughts on the melee weapons right now? Like, do they need a buff? Are there any that are OP? I mean, especially after the sword nerf.
I think the sword nerf is probably unjustified, but I think it's sort of like a band-aid fix to rework sword. But I do agree, like sword needed a change because like it's so unwelcoming for new players. It's like, wow, how am I supposed to counter this? Like you have a little guy with a sword dashing towards you, going behind you, coming back. Like there's no way a casual player is gonna be able to fight that. But yeah, I think the swords in general are pretty unique. I do think some of them need to be more like identifiable, I guess. Like Riot Shield feels very sort of the same-ish as like dual katanas. But in general, I think the melee weapons are pretty good.
Yeah. Obviously, you tend to play more long range. Do you have any that you prefer to play? Like, if you need to play a melee weapon for whatever reason, like, are there some that you enjoy?
If I were to use a melee weapon, I probably would use the sledgehammer.
Is that just because you could use goo with it?
I think mainly because it's not just a melee weapon; it's also a tool. Because like I can drop the cashout, I wouldn't need to bring C4 or stuff like that. I can play very differently, and I think it's off meta but still good, which I think a lot of people struggle to deal with.
Dang it!
Getting hard carried by the man himself right now.
Yeah, a little bit. Don't look at my score. I'm warming up. I don't play quick cash.
Excuses.
I got more. It's been a long day. I just got off work.
All very true things. All very true things.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. I'm old.
Also very true. Bolter.
Be sure to add that in the video and just put a time tag.
Rio is
Rio.
old.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. Oh, he just died. Okay.
Nice. Fire. I hear a light on me.
Yes.
It's a little chaotic. Oh.
I got him.
Nice.
Just put myself into a cage of fire and burned myself to death. So that was unfortunate.
Nice.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Let's go.
There's the Deagles working. Before the Deagles, what was your go-to weapon? What did you enjoy at that point? Were you a Lewis gun guy? Did you do you enjoy Shaq from time to time?
When Shaq came out, I was like, yeah, I mean, Shaq is good, but not for me. Like, I prefer the like long-range weapons, like as long-range as possible. And I think I also really like semi-auto, which is another reason why I like Deke so much. But yeah, I did use Lewis gun. It was just the best weapon at the time.
Yeah. All right, y'all up for a world tour?
Let's do a world tour. Let's run it.
Let's
down.
do it.
Cat is making an appearance as the fourth member of this podcast, as always.
As always. Well,
as always.
we just need to get him a seat or a little cat camera.
So what are your long-term, do you have any long-term plans? Have you thought about what you want to do in the future? Like, is streaming, and with YouTube, do you really want to try and take the finals and see if this can be a long-term thing for you? What are sort of your plans, and what's next for you in the game?
I think long term, I sort of want to, like, if the finals die, I still want to be able to do stuff, or like I hopefully like Arc Raiders is good. But if the finals dies, I'm sort of just like, I think I might just quit gaming forever. I'm gonna be honest. But
Ditto.
Yeah.
yeah, I think sort of like short term, long term is like, I don't know. I kind of want to get a person or hire a person to edit my stream highlights, but yeah, I mean, I just try to put out as much content as I can right now. That's it, really.
Yeah. Is that something you feel like is done? Have you seen like an uptick over the past couple seasons? I feel like just generally when I look at finals related like Twitch streams and YouTube, it feels like it's, I know for a while it was a little dire. Has it gotten better? Like, have you felt like that's kind of been improving over time?
I think this season especially, I feel the growth. But yeah, I think the last few seasons were kind of same, I guess. But yeah, this season I've been sort of seeing like these videos from like Artie, IRL, and like every person like Gallantry with like videos about like best FPS ever, and I think those have been really hitting, especially to like the general audience, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I can't help but notice that you are running Pyro mine. Is that because it goes well with Goo, or do you just enjoy running mines?
Yeah, I get this question like a lot of people ask me like, why don't you run RPG? Why are you running Pyro mine? The main reason I run Pyro mine is like it just synergizes so well with my loadout.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that doesn't really synergize with my loadout is the dome shield, because it's just like you can't really combo anything with the dome shield. But
Yeah.
But yeah, C4 Pyro Mine, I put them together. The Pyro Mine goes off, the C4 goes off with it. I wouldn't have to detonate it myself. Or the other way around, if I detonate the C4, the Pyro Mine also goes off. Maybe I can one-shot like a light or medium on the cashout if they're stealing. Or like if I wanted to blow the Pyro Mine, I could use it to spread with the goo. There's a lot of different things you can do with the Pyro Mine.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, that was a good shot.
Oh, dear.
Dove into him.
Dolphin dive.
Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, I RPG'd the wall.
Well, you have a favorite map in the game?
My favorite map right now is just Fortune Stadium. I think it's just it's really cool looking and it plays very well.
It is a good one. All right, so how would you set up this for defense? Are we going to cocoon this? Do you normally drop it? What's your play? Do we just cocoon it every time? Okay.
I just cocoon it, and then like I'll just play like I don't know. I do a lot of different things depending on the situation, I guess. But sometimes I go up here on the wall and I just like make a fortress, but then some random pyro nade just comes over and it just ruins it.
It's just over.
Yeah.
All right, Heavy's dead. Heavy's dead.
I did.
Nice.
One medium on me. He's to the right in front of you. Here we go.
I'm walking the dog.
Yeah,
Fighting. Yeah.
Another falter for the high notes, folks. They'll have to start again.
I remember a while back they changed how long it took to burn goo, and then they changed it back a little bit, but it still is on the longer edge of things. Do you think it's at a decent range now? Like, does it take long enough?
I think originally it used to take 6 seconds for burn to goo, and then they switched it to 12 seconds, and then they switched it to 9 seconds.
Yeah.
And I remember when that happened, people were like telling me, "Oh, they're buffing Ekazo, they're buffing Ekazo," or something. But yeah, I mean, I personally didn't think it was like something that needed to happen, but I think it definitely opens up different ways to play Goo Gun, which is sort of what I'm doing right now with the Pyro.
Yeah, makes sense.
This is actually a really good combo. If you goo them, I can seal 40 them.
Oh, right
Wait,
here,
what was the
right
question?
here. Oh, I was just getting distracted.
Oh, that's no question. Okay.
No question, no question. I'm too
I got
locked
you, I
in.
got
All
you.
right, I don't need to be locked in at all. You are cleaning everyone up. All right.
I'm just healing you guys. I'm not even shooting. It's easier.
Amazing. What
Let's
do you
see.
think?
Balaki asked the question. Oh,
Oh
yeah.
yeah. He says, what is your favorite team comp? Is it heavy, light?
Yeah, I think that's another reason why I like the games. Like, I think most comp players would say like the best team composition is heavy, medium, light. But I think with Goo Gun, I've been able to sort of make like double light, heavy work.
I've seen more of that in ranked. Why do you think that works well? Because it feels like there's some compositions that just don't work. Do you think anything can work, like to an extent, obviously, or do you think that heavy, light just has something going for it?
Well, I feel like any composition can work if like you're good enough. Like if you have triple light, like yeah, if you just kill every team with like your superior aim, you can make it work. But like I think generally that like triple anything sort of sucks, or except for medium because they're so versatile.
Yeah.
Here, I got a zip that'll get us right up to it.
Yeah. But yeah, I do think it might be heavy, medium, light might be overplayed. No one's really trying out other stuff. I feel like.
Nice. Falling back and low.
Oh, above.
I got a hide.
W.
Got him.
W.
Nice.
Nice. Good drop.
But yeah, I really like heavy, light, mainly because the lights are so like I call them mosquitoes because they just run around and I'm sort of like the bait. They just like sort of circle around me and I'm just sort of like gooing it up, like taking damage, and then it's like since I'm such a big target, like most everyone just focus me, and then the lights just sort of do their own thing, trying to play picks, and then use me as sort of like a shield, like a pseudo shield, I guess. And I really like how that plays.
I've seen some really neat stuff from a couple Goo players. I think we actually briefly saw a Goo Gun user in the Pro League, and I've seen Average do this a couple times as well.
Who was in Pro League?
I have to go check. I think we saw it once. Parita can probably confirm. But I've seen some people do things where they'll drop a grenade, or they'll drop a flash, and they'll goo themselves so that they don't get hit by it. Is that something that you've seen before? Have you ever tried to do something similar?
Yeah, I've tried that. Yeah, I've seen that, but I feel like practically it's sort of difficult because like you have teammates, right? And they're always usually playing around you, and if you're doing that, you're going to be flashing them 100%.
Yeah.
And I don't know how good that is, but
But that's fair. That makes sense.
Yep.
How much do you want to affect your team at the same time?
Yeah. I did hear about apparently there's like an EU person in Pro Hubs using Goo Gun. I was meaning to watch that, see if he's any good, but I haven't got a chance
Is
to.
it Llama?
I don't believe it's Llama, but I know I can't remember the name because I was not casting that one, but I meant to go back and check. But you're right, there was one person that I saw hold out the Goo Gun, and I needed to check and see how it went because we definitely don't see enough of that. Do you enjoy playing the other classes as well? Are you like, or do you just mainly play heavy?
I used to play a lot of medium, but I don't know, it's just not as fun as it used to be.
Yeah.
Like when season 4, when Pike came out, when it was like super overpowered, like yeah, I just play medium because otherwise they just lose. But yeah, I'll play medium from time to time, but I can never play light. I feel like I'm just horrible with light. I don't know why.
Is it just do you find yourself relying on maybe you need too much health, or do you not find the positioning abilities? Because it's basically all positioning abilities on the light.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I think a lot of it has to do with
Doubling this.
I guess positioning. I guess I just suck at positioning on light.
Yeah, fair enough.
Me too. No, that's really my complaint.
Like a COD simulator. Like I feel like if you play light, it's like a COD simulator. Like I peek for 1 second, I'm dead.
Yep.
Got it.
No, I have every achievement in game minus win 100 games with light, or whatever it is, 150.
See, it's funny for me because that was actually heavy was actually my last class that I got 150 wins on. I just find the movement that I can get with light is just so hard for me.
All right, I brought you back in the thick
so
of
hard
it.
for me to play without.
You have a favorite season so far?
I think the safe answer is probably season 2. But other than that, I don't really have another one.
Yeah. Oh, nice try. Skins, any favorite like outfits that you like to use in the couple you rotate through?
I mean, personally, I like the mech suit, but I hate how like uncustomizable it is because you have to either run the helmet or you can only run the full body suit, which is kind of annoying.
That's true, yeah.
But that's one of my favorites, though. I think they should do more like that. Like the anime skin is also really cool. Hopefully, they do more of that. Gun
Everybody
skins,
hated
though.
it on Reddit when it came
Really?
out. Oh yeah, it was just people.
The anime skin? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are people.
So what do you guys think about like Reddit in general? Like, do you think it's overly negative?
Yes.
I think Reddit in general tends towards negativity, but I don't think that's indicativeness of the community. I think that's just kind of the way that online spaces work nowadays. Like for instance, like you tend to have like influencers, and there are people that tend to like diss on games, and so I think that like in general, I think the culture towards gaming period is negative nowadays. I think people are generally not like in public spaces. I think it makes more money for creators to be negative about games than it does to be positive about games for the most part. And I think that's sort of crept into just the general way that people view gaming on places like Reddit now, period. So I think that's sort of part of why the finals Reddit can feel so negative sometimes, just because that's how people are conditioned to view games. Like that's the perspective and that's the lens they use now.
The ultra rares, the mighty,
I see.
the high notes, and finally,
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of good stuff there. Like I think there's lots of really cool stuff. It's just if you sort by new or you sort by rising, I think you're gonna have a better time on the final subreddit.
Yes.
If you sort by best
Without a doubt.
or like hot, it's all of the controversial topics because people will always engage with things they think are frustrating to see. Got another question. We got a question from Punk Ninja. Do you think they should release battle pass items like the anime face? I know this one's one of that was controversial on places like Reddit for skins that are in the battle pass. Should those always be time exclusive? Do you have any opinions on this?
I mean, I do. I think, well, personally, I'm not really a big fan of gatekeeping like skins and stuff because I feel like they don't really matter. But I know some people I know they really like the FOMO, and I don't know. I feel like it just makes more sense for Embark to just don't care about the FOMO people and just like release all this stuff. Like maybe release all the battle passes, make it cost more though, and in that way, like everyone can enjoy and the benefits, and Embark would get more money as well. I feel like, but
I agree. I actually 100% agree with that.
I like what Halo does, and they let you buy the battle pass at any time, and then you select which one you want to work on, and then you just kind of make progress towards that one. So like, I don't play Halo a ton, but I still own like 4 or 5 of the battle passes, and I log on from time to time, choose which one I want to go for. I wish they would do something like that, because then it's just free money they're missing out on, I think. Like,
yeah.
I can see it. I think that'd be pretty neat. I do agree. I think so long as like it remains getting the battle pass remains to be like kind of a discount in many ways. Then I think it is. I don't see any problems with it. I got medium is half and the light is dead.
Yeah.
okay.
I was low.
Nice.
Boy, that pushed right in there. Ooh, yeah.
The AoE damage went crazy there.
I love it.
Not exactly a resonating success this time.
If it just didn't have as much self-damage, I would run this all the time. It just makes me sad sometimes.
Yeah.
especially
Like,
when
'cause-
like the counter is people just run into me.
Yeah, it kind of makes me mad that they made it so that you take more self damage than actual damage that the gun does to other people.
Yeah.
Like that's another reason why I stopped running RPG.
Yep. Yeah, I don't like that either.
It does feel kind of interesting for a main, like a primary weapon to have that that caveat
I'm gonna use that zip line.
to do so much damage to yourself. But... All right.
One thing that always kind of bothered me about Goo is that it doesn't last like the whole cash out. I wish that it didn't break right before, like, you know, I just wish it went the whole time. I know why they do it, you know, so they don't have a ton of goo particles everywhere, but I just wish it lived a little longer.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
that-
it's sort of like a pet peeve as well for me.
They've gone symphony to cacophony.
Yeah, especially because it only lasts like half the length of the cash box, anyways. So you have to
Yeah.
remake your little cocoon.
The mighty completed a cash out.
Yep.
A knock at the door of Vault 3 from the mighty.
Oh yeah, this feels good.
Yeah, that's like one of the things about the finals. Like, I feel like they don't lean into like a lot of the dynamic stuff about the games. Like, I feel like a lot of times, sometimes buildings just don't get destroyed at all. Like, I guess, I don't know. They just want to keep the servers not as broken or something. Not sure.
As in, like some buildings could be more destructive than they are, things like that.
I guess like it's not a lot, or I guess I'm more like saying like gadgets and stuff
Oh,
aren't as
gotcha.
destructive as I would like them to be. I
Mm.
guess.
I see what you're saying. I wouldn't mind a gadget that gives us like more destruction. I guess like in some ways the DMAT is kind of the opposite of that, right? The DMAT just lets you have to. It don't as never actually destroys things. It just removes it out of your way.
Yeah.
Well, the minigun should have done more environmental damage.
Yeah.
It's so sad that it takes like a fourth, if not more, of your barrel to or ammo reserve to kind of get it going. Makes me sad.
Yeah. Oh, it's gonna hurt.
I got you. I got you. I got you. You're good. You good?
All right, let's go take him out. Push him from the side.
I'm overcharged.
Fools don't know
Oh
what's
yeah. I bet.
don't know what's about to hit him.
Heavy dead.
Nice. Light is at 2 bars. On top right there. I went down in that push.
Oh my gosh.
I saw that.
All right, medium's down.
It's just invis in front of me. I can't see him.
Nice.
Oh,
All right, I got
Good
the
job,
I got
guys.
the steal.
Nice.
Nice. Oh, I had oh yeah. So I know one of the things people have talked about a lot, and I've heard this brought up a bunch of times, is a change to RPG. Because like I said, it does a lot of self damage. It feels like it's like people rely almost too much sometimes on the jump pad RPG. It's this aggressive like entry point. Some people have suggested giving RPG 2 charges instead of 1, doing, you know, maybe less damage overall, trying to up the building damage, maybe add something like rocket jump to it. What are some changes you would give to the RPG to make it A, more interesting, or something that you might want to run again?
I think I like the 2 charges because like I feel like RPG should be more of a building destruction tool rather than like a damage dealer.
Okay.
But I think the main buff they should revert some of the changes. Like I remember when RPG was like super OP, they made it more inaccurate in like an effort to nerf
Yes.
it and stuff like that. They should just revert those changes back. Because I feel like you're just making the game feel worse for the people using it. But
Makes sense
Yeah.
to me. Yeah, you want the game to feel fun to play, and it's finding that balance point is hard overall. What are your thoughts on the Vegas rework? Now that we didn't get a new map this time, I'm personally okay without having a new map, but I know a lot of people really wish that they'd had a new map. And how do you feel about that? I got one.
I think obviously I think anyone would prefer a new map, but I think it's understandable. Maybe some development pains with making a new map every season.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm sort of neutral about it.
Okay.
I don't really care that much if there's a new map or not, but I do like that they did make a change to a map rather than giving no map or no new anything.
Yeah, keep it so it's kind of relatively balanced a little bit.
Oops.
You know, and go back and like, do you want to see them revisit Kyoto at some point?
Like, yeah, I guess so, but I feel like it's kind of difficult for them because they also want to like make Kyoto look like Kyoto, but they also have to make it fun to play.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how they would do that.
Yeah, fair enough. Is Kyoto not a map? Are you among the people that do not really enjoy Kyoto? Coming for you, Rio.
I mean, it's grown on me a little bit since the Kyoto haters days, but I think it's not my. I feel like it's not the worst map anymore.
I do remember that
But,
being your team name back in the day was Kyoto Haters.
Yeah.
And Kyoto Haters 2, just run it back.
Ha.
I forgot about that. That was very funny. Did you enjoy it more when it was ice? What are your major problems with the map?
Oh yeah, I really like the ice version. Like, I think
Me
the
too.
water really just makes the gameplay feel a lot worse for like everyone.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the main issue of Kyoto is just it favors the long range way too much, and it feels like TA all over again, where like everyone's running range weapons, snipers, and I'm not really a big fan of that.
Yeah, fair enough. Not bad.
Nice.
I mean, we're already good, but
He pulled out. He was the only one left. I'm not going to kill him. That would be rude.
You're supposed to kill him right before the end, so you have a funny screenshot to
That
take.
would be rude.
Nicely calculated stride.
He was doing such a good job.
Be looking for a perfectly tailored win in our upcoming team clash.
So you said that you really prefer the 4-team cash out as opposed to 3v3. That's, you enjoy the chaos of it. So how do you feel about sort of, because it's such a consistent discussion, obviously among competitive, but just in general, people are like, well, the griefing of it, for constant third partying, that's clearly something that you don't mind as much overall. Like, so what are your thoughts on sort of that discussion? Like, do you think that constant third partying is an issue? Do you think it's a problem that people can grief out and the first place team can just kind of choose who they want to go through? Is ranked better for that?
I do feel like if you're first place, you do get a lot of agency and sort of like choosing second place. And I like generally, I feel like if you were the first and second best team in the lobby, you definitely should get first and second place, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
But I think the ability for the first place team is I mean, like right now, I feel like it's okay-ish for their ability to like brief out the second team. Because like, I mean, obviously, if you're first place, you should get an advantage. Like you did well earlier in the rounds. But I think the main issue is like, before we can discuss any solutions to it, I feel like first we need to fix the spawns and then see how it goes, and then see the data.
Makes sense.
You've mentioned that a couple of times. Fix the spawns. What's your idea to fix them? Like, do you have one, or is it just still something's just off? They need to kind of go back to their fundamentals and change it there.
Yeah, I think right now it's like if two teams are fighting on B, the third team would spawn like right behind the team fighting on B. It's like I think the best spawns should be like, yeah, spawn them on the other side of the map with the other team. Or I mean, yeah, just making sure like it has to be detrimental for the team that wants the third party. But like still allow third party. I think like make them walk further or something like that.
Yeah.
And right now it just doesn't feel like that.
I don't see anyone. I have no idea where they are. Found one.
Above it. Healing you, Waltz. I'm walking you.
Got one.
Good kill. Behind me. Behind me. I'm low. I have to hide. Healing you up. Go fight. Chasing you, Waltz. Hang on.
Oh, he's slow.
I
Nice.
got
Good
him.
finish.
You
Good finish.
can steal.
Oh, I'm not near it.
He did not steal.
I got lost in Cis Horizon for the 100th time.
Lightning fast. Cash out officially stolen.
All right, they are respawning now.
The mighty are back in action.
I like how you're like putting the cash out on the goo. I think that might actually be really good.
Yeah, try and keep so if they can't drop it as easily, because I feel like that
Yeah.
was what almost bit us the first time.
Here. God, they're targeting me hard.
It's very low. One down.
Yeah. He's one
Two
bar
down.
on roof.
Nice.
Nice. Last guy's on roof. He's low. Probably reach it though.
Gonna sit on
Oh,
this
you got this.
He's probably gonna try and go for a res here. Nice, there it
Nice.
is.
Our first cash out goes to the Vogues. Let's see whether they can keep that momentum going.
The Vogues are demonstrating great teamwork in the arena.
Have you ever gone searching for the secret room on Cis Horizon with the Easter egg? You ever tried to find it?
Riddled with their might.
Yeah, I have. I think I was in like a private match and there was like this game-breaking bug that I was trying to use to see. Like there was like a way you could see like through the floors or something.
Oh yeah.
Or, like if you
Ah.
like get stuck in the ground.
Need to walk
Is the
But yeah.
hit nobody? Ouch.
I love how that still hasn't been found.
Yeah, it definitely looks like something you have to activate. It's not like something that's already in the map.
Yeah.
Let's blow up.
A contestant is finding their
Are you into the Easter egg side of things very much? Like, do you like the lore side of the game, or are you just in it for the gameplay?
I mean, I'm sort of like a tentative like Easter egg, I guess, listener or
Yeah.
observer,
Yeah.
and like I don't know, I like it when Easter eggs are something that can be discovered just by like normally playing the game. Like I remember that like dolphin one.
Yes.
That one was
yeah,
like
that was cool.
super convoluted. Like you have to like stand in this place with like
Oh yeah.
10 people or something. It's like what?
Which is, I'm sure, what you have to do to get the room opened.
Yeah.
There's a Battlefield like 3 or 4 Easter egg that no joke took like an hour long of sequence, and you had to like decode Morse code. You had to. It was wild.
That reminds me of the old Call of Duty Zombies Easter eggs. Call of Duty Zombie Easter eggs that used to take like. Got him? Oh, he's just hanging.
Oh, nice. Oh. Wait, why did your lockboard break so quickly?
I'm not sure. Maybe because he was out of like sight. Maybe that's a change they've made where if you're out
Oh.
of sight.
Nice.
Maybe.
He's low. Yeah.
I actually got a team wipe just in the previous match. I got all 3 average. You should watch the VOD back. I was crushing with this. Wait, the bookcase came back. The bookcase disappeared and it came back. Does that happen on this horizon?
Spooky.
What?
Did we just figure it
Wait,
out? This is
I
where the
don't think
room is.
Oh my god.
It didn't disappear. Or did it?
It did. It like disappeared on my screen.
Oh.
I didn't
know.
didn't see it disappear, but
Well.
I believe you.
No, you don't. I hear it in your voice. You don't believe me.
Never doubt you, Waltz. That's the
Yeah,
truth.
Okay. Empty platitudes. We must go save Ekazo.
No.
Came in behind. Got 2.
Nice, last one. It's on, or was on Waltz.
What? I didn't kill him.
Oh.
Oh no. I'm gonna stay alive. I have C4 on.
Nice.
Oh, I couldn't hear him. I think that's it anyways. I don't think he has time.
Yeah, we got it.
Yep.
Oh,
GG.
Let's go.
Out in the arena,
nicely
just as the
done. Nicely
spotlight
done.
swings to our winners, the Vogues. From all of us
Oh,
at the
man.
finals, thanks
let's do it. Well,
Sounds good.
really appreciate you coming on, Ekazo. It was great to get to chat with you, kind of dive into all of this stuff, and overall, just good to get to know you a little more. I've seen you around quite a bit, and again, thanks for swinging by and taking part of the club clash as well. Really enjoyed you being part of that as well. So really enjoyed getting to know you lately, and thanks for coming on again.
Yeah, I appreciate. I know I reached out to you, but yeah, I've been trying to reach out to like, I guess, podcasts and sort of give my opinion, I guess. And I think it's pretty cool that you guys are doing this, and I appreciate you guys doing this because like I feel like the sort of content you guys do is sort of underrated.
Thank you.
But yeah.
All right. Well, that's going to be it for guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. And thanks again, Ekazo. You have a great rest of your day.
Yep. Thank you.
All right. And take care, everyone.